Hey, Shelley from Best Buy Canada's blog, and this past week I've been testing out the Lutron Aurora Smart Bulb Dimmer. The Lutron Aurora works with Philips Hue lights, and it is a smart bulb dimmer switch that you can place over an existing switch in your home, and it will turn off, on, and control your lights by dimming them. Lutron Aurora is available for panel switches, also known as rocker switches, as well as toggle switches. When you open the box for the Lutron Aurora, you get what you see here. It's just basically the dimmer switch and a panel that fits over one of your existing light switches. The first thing to note is that the dimmer switch itself will work without being installed over a light switch, but the main idea here is that you have a light switch where your Philips Hue lights are always on, so you don't have to worry about somebody flipping the light switch and disconnecting them so you can't control them. With the Lutron Aurora on top of an existing switch, your lights are always on and controllable. I have the new Philips Hue Bridge, so I'm able to connect up to 50 lights to a single Lutron Aurora switch. If you don't have the Philips Hue Bridge, but you still use Hue lights, you can connect up to 12 lights. I only have panel switches in my home. I don't have toggle switches, so I only installed the panel Lutron Aurora, but this is just as a look at what you get in the box for the Lutron Aurora toggle switch. So to install the Lutron Aurora panel switch, this is what I need to set up. So I've got the actual dimmer switch as well as the panel, and I'm going to put it on the kitchen lights that I have that are Philips Hue. To begin the process of installing this, the first thing you'll have to do is tap the dimmer switch 3 times. That will begin the syncing process, so you'll see that light flashing and that'll indicate that you can add it to the Philips Hue app. In the Hue app, you're going to tap Friends of Hue and you're going to look for an accessory called Lutron Aurora. It's pretty easy to find. All I did was search through the accessory lists and there it was. And then it will search for your Lutron Aurora. So I found it helpful when searching to have the dimmer switch in my hand near my Hue Bridge. Once the accessory is added, I assigned a room and the lights to it and I was ready to use it. The thing to keep in mind when installing this switch cover over your existing lights is that the light switch has to be on. So that's one of the benefits of this dimmer switch is that it will always make sure that your Hue lights are turned on and accessible instead of somebody walking past your Hue lights and flipping the switch and then you can't control them. The toggle switch is easy to install. It takes less than 2 minutes. All you have to do is place this gray plastic mount on top of a toggle switch and add your dimmer. With a panel light, it's a little different. I couldn't show it because it was too dark in my kitchen when I was installing the light because I had to disconnect the wires. So basically you turn your Hue lights on, you disconnect the power, you disconnect the existing switch inside by tying the wires together, rendering that switch useless, and then you place that mount over top of your existing switch, add the little gray dimmer box, and then install the actual dimmer on top of that. So it sounds like it's complicated, but it's not. It's actually just a matter of cutting your power and tying the wires together inside the switch so your lights are always on. Once it's installed, it's so easy to use. All you have to do is tap it to turn your lights off and on. If you want to dim, you just turn the dial to dim them. The real benefit to having a dimmer switch that's physically on your wall is that it just makes it easy to access your Hue lights. Normally, I would open the app and I would have to tap to dim or slide to dim or anything. With this switch on the wall, all you have to do is walk past and turn them off and on or use the dimmer. I found that the response rate was pretty instant. I don't think I ever had any trouble with it attempting to connect or anything like that. So it was far easier to use this dimmer switch than the app. If you have Philips Hue smart lights, I think you really do need a smart bulb dimmer switch like the Lutron Aurora. It's easy to use. It was very easy to install, especially if you have toggle light switches, and it just makes everything seamless and easy to control. And there's also the added benefit that your lights will never get switched off so that you're somewhere you want to use them or turn them on and you can't connect. One other thing to note is that there is access to voice control for this switch. So if you add it to your Google Home or Alexa, you can use voice control commands to turn your lights off and on or dim them. That's it for my look at the Lutron Aurora Smart Bulb Dimmer Switch for Philips Hue. You can see my full written review and other photos at Best Buy Canada's blog. Thanks for watching.